Hey, so in this formula, I'm going to show you how to use the is blank formula inside of another formula to help you in case you do have some blank sections here and you want the matching area to be blank. This is how you're going to do it. So for example, I have my task list, I have my checkboxes as I check them off. It will update the status and show as completed. So I've created this as an if formula. So it's saying, hey, as long as this is true, it's been checked off, we are going to show the status as completed, but if it hasn't been checked off, it's going to show to you. So that is my if statement. But as I copied it down, you can see that it's showing to do, but there's no task here. So really it doesn't look right because you're like, okay, well, we have some blank tasks, there's no tasks, and it's saying to do. And what I want it to do is look a little bit nicer and be blank. So it's going to show as blank based off of whether this is blank. So that's what essentially the is blank is going to help us do. And there's a lot of different ways you can use this. You can hide dashboard data until it's been filled. You can show prompts when no data exists. You can prevent errors in clean templates. You can do controlled conditional formatting based off of there's times when I will do highlights for my conditional formatting. It will highlight based off a specific condition. And if this is blank, it would still highlight and I didn't want it to highlight. So I would use the is blank formula with that to kind of help mitigate that. And then you can also improve customer service just based off of how the spreadsheet is used, because it just is confusing when we have these to-dos, but there's, especially if you have a formula counting up every to-do, like every status that says to-do. So let's say if I was to do a count if, and let's say I'm going to select this range and I'm going to do it if it says to-do because I want to count up how many to-dos I have left. It's going to show me I have 8 when really I only have 2. So I'm just saying, like, it's sometimes nice to show as a blank versus having this being here, even though it, like, even just looking at it, it doesn't look nice because you're like, hey, it doesn't belong there. But it just can screw up some of your other formulas and other calculations because it's showing something that's not actually true because there's no task there, there's nothing to do. But anyways, what I did want to show you is that using the is blank formula by itself just literally tells you a true or false whether a cell is blank or not. So I've got 2 examples here, but I'm just going to delete them out and we're going to start again. So we're going to do equals is blank. So I'm just going to type it out. Now I'm going to select the cell that I want to ask it. Is it blank or not? I'm going to select this cell right here and we can see it is not blank. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to say false. It is not blank. It actually has text in there. But if I do the next one and I do equals is blank and I select this one down here, which is clearly blank, and I hit my right bracket and hit enter, you can see it's going to say true. It is blank. So it's basically the is blank just gives you a true and false, but we can use that with other formulas to actually create different conditions based off of whether something is blank or not. So for the example I show here, it's the exact same to-do list over here, but it hides anything that is blank because we're saying, hey, if this is blank, we're going to do a different thing than if it isn't blank. So let me just quickly show you how I did that. Our formula over here is our if C6, which is our right over here. If that is checked off, it's going to say completed. If not, it's going to show as to do, right? That is our formula. But what we want to do is an if formula kind of nestled in there as well, being like, first of all, we want to check if this is blank, if any of these are blank, I want it to show just blank. So we're going to do that using equals. If, then our logical expression is blank, and then selecting the cell. So we're going to put in is blank, and then we're going to select the cell we want it to test. So if this cell is blank, what do we want it to show? So I'm going to put my comma because now we're going to say, hey, if that is true, what do we want it to show? And I just want it to be blank. You can put whatever you want. You can actually say something like added to do if you want to add instructions for them. But I personally just like it showing up as blank, so it just looks nice and clean. It's up to you what you want to do, but if you do want to put in some text, you just got to make sure it's in quotation marks. But anyways, I'm going to leave it as blank. So I'm just going to put a comma. And now it's asking, well, if it isn't blank, what you want it to do. And now I could put my original formula in there, which is my other if formula. So I'm just going to write in my if, and then my logical expression. And it's just saying, hey, if this, or no, I'm not doing the range, sorry. Just selecting that cell, equals true. Then if that value is true, I want it to say it's been completed. So I'm going to put completed in quotation marks. But if that is false, if that is not checked off, I want it to say to do. And again, I'm putting that in quotation marks. So that should work properly. So again, it's two if statements kind of nestled in there, but it's saying first we're going to check if this is blank, then it's just going to be blank. So that's what this little space means. So if that is true, if it is blank, we're just going to leave it as blank. But if it's not true, if there actually is text in here, then we want to say, hey, if this one is checked off, we want it to say completed. But if it is not checked off, we want it to say to do. So that's essentially what the formula is saying. So I'm going to hit return. As you can see, it says completed. Now I'm going to copy this formula all the way down. And you can see it automatically fills in based off of whether there is text in here, and then it shows blank if there is not. So as I add in task number 5, it will magically pop in my next formula, which is the if statement. And then as I check this off, because there is text already in here, it's not blank, it will do completed if it's checked off and to do if not. And so as you can see, you can just add in more tasks and it will automatically update my status. But it's based off of whether this is blank or not. So it just makes your spreadsheet a lot nicer. I love using this. I use it a lot. And then I'm just going to fix my formula, or not my formula, my formatting, because I did too many, or no, I used my magical blue dot and that just copied over the formatting to the rest. So let me just quickly do this and change it up so it looks nice. There you go. And so now it's complete. So anytime I add in a new task, it automatically updates and it's no longer blank. But if I was to delete this, it would just show blank. So let me know if you have any questions at all about this. Hey, if you're brand new to Google Sheets and you want to take a free course to learn the basics of Google Sheets, you will want to join this free mini course called the Wild Heart Spreadsheet Academy. It's completely free. You can join up. I will link it below. You'll also get tutorials to learn how to create this cute weekly planner, as well as you'll get a free custom GPT to help you come up with your first 5 spreadsheet ideas. So check it out, completely free. I'll link it below.